Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to another episode of The Curious Cat. I'm going to share with you a little bit of my own experience with chronic pain and just kind of what I've experienced. I've been dealing with chronic pain for over 20 years now, and that comes along with all kinds of challenges. And if you're somebody that's been dealing with chronic pain, I'm sure you are well aware of all of the challenges that come along with that. So often it can leave you feeling very alone. People that don't experience pain, they just they don't understand how limiting it can be and how overbearing it can be on your own life. And another thing is, a lot of pain isn't, you can't see it. So unless you're bleeding out, it's hard for people to have sympathy for you or compassion, or sorry, empathy is maybe the word, I don't know. But essentially, it's hard for them to understand your situation, especially when they can't see the pain. So for myself, if people look at me, they just think, oh, you're fairly fit and you look healthy, so you must feel good. And that's just not the case. A lot of my pain you can't see, it's internal. And so people, they don't really, it's hard for them to understand what what that can transpire to in your own life. And so I recently had my back act back up. It just every once in a while it flares up, or more than half the time my back's in severe pain, and it feels like I've been stabbed in the back, and it's that severe. It's really hard to move. I can't put my socks on. I can't tie shoes. It takes me a bit to get out of bed. I have to move my legs with my hands, that kind of stuff. And what'll end up happening is my life kind of starts sliding backwards a little bit. My house gets really messy. I can't keep up with dishes. I can't do my job. I can't, there's a whole bunch of stuff I just can't do. And then people will start to judge you. They look and they're like, oh, your place is messy. You're not working hard enough. And I feel judged often by that, but they don't see what's going on kind of behind the scenes. They don't see the amount of pain that one is experiencing internally. And often we end up being hard on ourselves, and that kind of projection gets put on us, and often we'll kind of take that on. But one thing I've learned is that we must practice just compassion for ourselves, and we're the only ones that really understand the true amount of pain that we're going through ourselves. No one else can comprehend the level of pain we are. So we're the only ones that can kind of have empathy for ourselves, or give ourselves a pat on the back for how hard it is and how much it takes to sometimes even just get up in the day and get on with your day. And a lot of the other challenges I've found that come along with chronic pain are, it's very isolating, or alienating, in the sense that you don't want to go out and be around people, because essentially it's hard to put on a smiley face when you're in a lot of pain internally. And you also don't want to always be talking about it, because people get tired of it. So you end up just often living in your head a lot and internalizing it a lot. And life just feels really overwhelming, especially when you're dealing with chronic pain. I think it would be really important to have community, but at the same time it kind of alienates you. So it's a double-edged sword, where you're just kind of left dealing with this often on your own. And it can be a sad place. It can lead to depression, and it can lead to very limiting things in your own life, where maybe you can't do your job anymore. And so it's hard to feel a sense of worth when you maybe you can't do your job anymore, and you want to contribute, but you're very limited by your pain. And so that's kind of some of the stuff I've been dealing with. And just when it's day in and day out, sometimes every day for a year or 2 years, I've had it where the chronic pain just didn't go away for a few years on end. And that got really challenging. I actually became suicidal, because I just didn't see a way out. And a lot of people, that's how they end up hooked on painkillers, on some of these more extreme painkillers. And that can also lead to all kinds of other problems. So if you're trying to deal with this in a natural way, like I've chosen not to use painkillers. I've used a bit of marijuana, which has helped, but that comes with its own challenges as well. So over this past year, I've just been kind of sitting with the pain and trying to breathe through it, using breathing exercises and that kind of stuff, and just accepting and really really allowing myself space when I need it. And, in the past, I used to just force myself to go to work and work through the pain. But these days, I'm just trying to um, essentially allow myself some space to heal when the pain gets that bad. But what that means is kind of letting go of some attachments. Like, I like to usually keep my place really clean and organized, but when the pain kind of is so overbearing that it's hard to do things like lift or bend over and pick stuff up off the floor or sweep, all those simple little things that are easy for most people become really daunting. And it's finding the space to have patience for yourself and to just kind of accept the reality. And sometimes we just have to essentially live with the mess for a bit until our back's in a better place, or our pain maybe subsides a little bit. Or if you're fortunate enough, maybe you have somebody that can kind of help you out. But often, if you've been dealing with a lot of chronic pain, you might not have somebody in your life because, like I discussed, it can be very alienating. So often, you don't have anyone that can help you, and it's hard to ask for help. So often you just get stuck and there's not much you can do. So it's just having a little bit of patience for yourself and understanding that that might just be the way it is for a bit until you're in a better place, or maybe you get a hand or something like that. So these are just some of the challenges that come along with chronic pain, and it can leave you feeling very overwhelmed, and often you can't see a way out. But I've just continually kind of tried to maintain a positive mindset. That's become really challenging at certain points. It comes in waves. There's points where I do feel like giving up, but I just continually push through because I have, most recently, I've started having little windows where I've been pain free for even a few months. I just had a 3-month period where I was pain free, and that's kind of the longest stint I've been in the last 5 years. And it felt amazing. It was so easy to be happy. It was easy to be motivated. It was easy to work, to get stuff done, to be really productive. And it just reminded me of how limiting physical pain really is, and chronic pain, how much it can really limit you and kind of impede you from being really productive in your own life. So it was just a good reminder that, this is a real thing. And when you are dealing with chronic pain, there are real limitations. Often people will project it on you that it's just you being lazy, and that you don't want to work or you don't want to clean up. And you basically, there's nothing you can do about those people that want to project that onto you. You just have to get really confident in your own mind and know for yourself what the truth is, and know that you actually are physically limited, and basically just do our best to brush off those projections. I've had a lot of that in the past, and I know what that feels like. And people just, they have a hard time, especially like I said, when they can't see the pain, they have a hard time understanding that, yeah, maybe you're in too much pain to do anything. Maybe you're in too much pain, or it's too hard for you to be social, because it's hard to be social when you're suffering inside. It's hard to put on a smiley face and kind of have the small talk and laugh and all that when deep inside you're actually really going through a lot. And it would be nice if people could talk about that with you, but often people don't like to talk about pain and suffering. People prefer the rainbows and butterflies. Fair enough. But that's where we have to have compassion for ourselves, and we have to have an understanding of our own about what we're actually going through, and we have to look at it realistically and just kind of accept our limitations. So those are some of my thoughts on chronic pain. Are some of you guys suffering from chronic pain? Have you had large stints of chronic pain? What have you found are some of the things that it some of the ways that it limits you, and some of the challenges that you found? Let me know in the comments below, and maybe share this video with some other people that are dealing with chronic pain, that kind of stuff. And I'd love to hear what you guys are thinking, because like I said, it's very alienating, and I know that a lot of us are dealing with this kind of stuff alone and in our own minds, and it's nice to have other people to talk to that have been through similar things, because it helps us realize that we're not alone in this, and that there are others that suffer. And on a lot of times it's people that you would never know. You know, it's a lot of people have no idea that I've been dealing with chronic pain for that long. When I tell them, they say, oh, you seem like a really happy guy and blah blah blah. But it's honestly because I usually don't go out if I'm dealing with that much pain, or if I do, I put on my happy face and I do my best to be presentable and in good spirits. So a lot of people don't see what's going on behind the scenes. So that's just, you know, it leaves me with a deep empathy for others, and realizing that really I have no idea what others are going through. And even some of the happiest people could be going through extreme challenges. So it's just a good reminder for us to have, that everyone has their own struggles and you don't always see it. So just to have a little bit of patience and empathy for others, and understand that we all have our challenges. So with that being said, I'll leave it at that. I hope you guys enjoyed the video and found some useful information in here. I hope you're having a fantastic day wherever you are, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.